Y'all remember them old intros? We would do that and then it'd cue the music. And yeah, people ask when the intro's coming back, guys. They weren't really missed. I just had to do that to show you our hot damn sign. I finally come up with the design I was happy with and got her hung up looking good. Now, speaking of looking good, here is our 84 S-10 we've been working on. This is gonna be our giveaway truck. So real quick, shout out to our sponsors on this whole little deal. Mortsky Repair, Sleeper Dude, Jay Hunto's Garage, all YouTubers. And then some people I've always worked with, Sweet Patina, the Bolin Brothers out in California, do all the hot rod parts. And then here local Sammy at St. Louis Salvage. Big thank you to everyone who wanted to be a part of this little build to give build of the truck we're gonna give away. And we're gonna get into some suspension stuff this go around, guys. And the only kicker with that is this crap is plumb filthy. If we start beating on stuff and hammering on this or that, stripping it down, we're gonna make a mess. Now, as you can see, we're highly concerned about not making a mess in this shop. So it's nice and chilly out this morning. Perfect time to just do some pressure washing straight out the gate. Sing to me, old girl. Oh, yeah. She's running like a dream because last week we did some mechanicking on her, a little fixing. So if you ain't seen that, check that baby out. She may not look like it, but she's a nice little off-road rig here. Hello there, old friend. Yeah. And we want to come right up here. That way these guys who are doing concrete next door can watch how some real pressure washing looks like. Here, roll that window up and pop the hood. We're gonna wash her. We're gonna wash every bit of it. Good deep washing. Oh, let's get dirty. Oh, guys, I was a little rusty on my pressure washing. Not as rusty as the inside of that tank was. Y'all noticed that, didn't you? Yeah, I had to pull that tank off there. And luckily we had some good quality dustless rock right here. And it was dustless for the most part. So I dropped that in there and shook her around and up and down. And then it took me about another 30 minutes to get the rock out of there, but it actually cleaned up inside that tank pretty good. Once we got her fired up there, it's time to get buck nasty. And this thing's cleaning up pretty dang good. The paint we're gonna do some buffing on, but look underneath the hood. What's this truck? Brand new? Is it 1984 again? I just realized this truck's the same model or year as my wife is. Yeah, my wife looks better in this thing though. Frame back here, a little surface rust on it, but overall it cleaned up good. Look at all our little hoses, lines, wires, whatever, you know. When you hit that stuff and everything starts to come back to life, it just kind of motivates you guys. It gives you I don't know, encouragement to lay on the wet rocks and wash the bottom of the frame. It looks so good, I'm at a loss of words clearly here. Now I know y'all noticed something else too. Daddy got him some new boots. Sorry, I called myself Daddy. That got weird. That's weirder than pressure washing in slow motion to sexy music. I sincerely apologize. My sister said, I can get you some rubber boots at work, good deal here. Do you need some? I said, you damn right I need some. I always need some for pressure washing. My feet always get soaked. It's the worst part. So let me introduce the new boots here. Introducing the Splish Splash Taking a Bath 411s. These here are the Hog Turd Hopper 1000s. Who likes my shit kickies 104s? These baby here's are the You Got a Pretty Mouth limited family reunion editions. You dang right, baby. I didn't get a wet sock one, you know what I'm talking about? Look, that sucker's ready to go, ready for more action. Oh, all right, who's ready for a little tear down? Oh man, staining up my new shop floor, looky there. Tear down. Our exhaust, it's rusted through. At a minimum, I think we're gonna cut it right there in front of that hanger for now. Get this out of the way because I'm not gonna leave rusted exhaust on here. Shocks are coming out. Old leaf springs are coming out. Well, that's more suspension side of things. Other tear down, we're gonna take the spare holder out of there. We don't want it. Our bumper's coming off, we're ditching it. Tailpipe. We got bump stops here we're gonna be taking off. We're gonna have to do something with that. Brake bracket over there. And then, yeah, leaf springs and everything else. We got plenty to tear down back here, so let's get started. Step one, remove the gasoline. We all know what could happen there. Step two. Two cuts and that exhaust will practically remove itself. Oh, nice rust flakes right there. Woo! Step three, take off unnecessary BS. Like our exhaust hanger, unnecessary. And this hanger, unnecessary. Hell, she's gonna sell them 12 times better already, custom exhaust. That's mess around and find out right there. Who wants some? What a high performance rig. Rust flakes, a delicious part of your breakfast. Come on, everyone loves a big old box of rust flakes. Up next, the whole drop winch system for the spare tire deluxe. Thought I was gonna have to get my Splish Splash Taking a Bath back on since I got my Sleep Comfort 911s right there. Unnecessary. Unless you get a flat, but pff, don't worry about that. Hey there, back bumper. You got some fine curves to you, but sorry. You don't make the cut. Watch out. Not necessary. Silly me, we could be doing a little lubrication up in this situation, and it may cause them bolts to not have so much hesitation for their release-sation. That one bumper bolt barely came off. All I'm saying is, if we know we're gonna take it apart, then it may not hurt to put a little lubrication on it. Little lubie on them booty, little PB blast on that ass. Just give this a reach around. She's stuck like Chuck. Claw hammer for the win. One, two, three's running away from me, and four. There. One, two, three, four. Get your booty on the floor. Yeah. Shockingly enough, those actually fought me a little bit. These don't even look like they were old. Meh. We're stripping this all down because we're lowering it. New leaf springs are lowering blocks, but we are gonna need a C-notch. So before we tear this down too much, we want to do a little marking. Change of plans. Okay, I was gonna drop like a plumb bob, aim for center where we know where to notch our frame, but here's the deal. If we pull all this crap out of here, it's gonna make getting this off a lot easier. It's gonna make notching it easier. Even if we strip out that stuff and that rear end's in the way because our brake line's hooked up, our drive shaft's hooked up, we're gonna be working around this rear end, and or we can disconnect the parking brake cable stuff real quick, one brake line, the drive shaft. We can get all this crap out of here 100%. We'll strip down the frame, and then we'll mock up the new stuff, because sometimes as you go lower, you're gonna get a little forward or back movement from your springs sometimes. So with all the other stuff mocked up and it actually sat down low, we will see where the frame or where the rear end's gonna get real close to the frame, and then we'll know how to notch it perfectly. Just keep tearing down. Got the tension off there, but then we gotta separate these, one of them. Just a little clip there on bottom, little tang. Now these are gonna suck. Well, that didn't work. Try to compress them all with that worm clamp. Camera died after I got her with the pry bar. Pop that one out. This one over here, same thing, just push on them little tabs as you pull back on it, and she'll come out of there. Should pop this baby in neutral, and we could have spun that and got the impact on it, but that's okay. She still wants to come out and play. Drive shaft out. Dang, we were mowing the field the other day, weren't we? I think these are gonna play nice. If you're doing new U-bolts and lowering blocks and whatever, and those are being ornery for you, just cut them suckers off. You can get in there with an angle grinder and boop, boop. Here's another little pro tip for you. If you do looby-dooby them and they're being ornery and you're backing them off, Once you get it where you think you're past that looby, or on the looby some, go forward some, and then come back again. And sometimes, whoop, she'll free right up. Rear end's free. Last thing's our brake line. Them beautiful brakes we had just bled. I didn't bring that sucker back here. I'm trying to, gosh darn it. So we just bled them things, and yeah, that sucks. We're gonna have to redo it. But this time, instead of letting that master cylinder run out and make a mess, we're gonna suck it out. That little bit right there, we're gonna suck it out. And then, she's still dripping some. But I don't care that we're gonna have to rebleed them, guys. Really, all that means is that system gets flushed and flushed again. And there ain't nothing wrong with having a nice, flushed, clean brake system. Apparently that ain't gonna come out of there. I removed the hardware off our shackles. Let's remove these bolts all the way. Much better. The last two bolts. And the leaf springs, whoop, come right on out, guys. That's pretty bare frame right now. Bend our brake line out the way, and we'll get our wiring out the way. Our bump stop plates, they are welded a lot right here on the outside. Looks like just a small amount on the bottom. We'll get to that. Right now, I'm gonna bring my slice and dice in. I'm gonna run that cutoff wheel right at the bottom of their weld, because a lot of it really ain't actually on that edge there. I think we can just kind of kiss it in there, and we'll be able to get through that pretty easy. Safety first. That chain's all that has that right now. So we won't take her too high, just a good workable height there. Like I said, safety first, and then picked up a truck that's just being held on with a chain, and then started throwing sparks right at some open gasoline. But don't worry, I got my safety glasses, earmuffs, and gloves on. Don't get too carried away here. We don't want to be gouging our frame. We just want to get it where we can beat this off here. A little bit of weld down there, a little cut into it. Gonna do a little cut into this one, and then we're gonna start beating on it. This has been a little ornery. I don't want to beat the dog crap out of it and tweak our frame real bad or nothing. I knew I got this one cut really good, so I popped in here, hit down on this to create a gap there, then just worked our two chisels in, and now this side is pop free. I'm gonna try to do the same to the front next. Oh yeah. Once you get them two in one, guys, you just peel that thing right off there. Now that's ready for the unnecessary pile. That side, whole lot easier. I went to hammer on it to try to get it started for some chisels, and that one just popped free. So no chiseling required. Let's flap attack this down. It don't look like we nicked our frame, but once we grind that up a little bit, it'll reveal all. Is that perfect sitting height? I'm getting spoiled. Oh, I call that move right there the lazy boy. Someone commented and said they want to trust a woman like I trust this chair or something. That's a good one. I do trust that chair. We've been through some crap together. Found some numbers on our frame. CE81454342. If we decode that, that means that's a limited slip, a 373 rear end. And that 342 indicates that this thing may have had, with that Durango package, all trim options available, which I could believe with all the chrome and everything else on it, guys. That's not true. I made it all up. I don't know what the hell that means. Passenger side went ahead and cleaned it up. And yeah, guys did a good job. We did not nick our frame at all with the cutoff wheel. Put a little cuts in there, smack that baby from the inside, you can peel them right off. Now this side's gonna be a little trickier because we do have that brake line bracket, and we're probably better off just go ahead and get that out of there. Maybe if we cut it and then tap it that way, we can peel it. Got a little angle weld. Thought it was just welded on the front, but it's got something there that's keeping it from rolling. Well, there's another way to get it off. I sawzalled that front weld, and then I was able to break that angle weld. Now this tab in here, we'll just bend it back and forth till it breaks. Yep, didn't take very much, did it? Whoo, baby, we got some stripped frame rails, guys, which means we're ready to mock everything back up. New springs, the lowering blocks, rear end, and we'll be able to then get ready for a little C-notch action. Only problem is, I guarantee it's lunchtime. My belly done told me so. 12:50, a little past lunchtime in my book. Before I go in, I'm gonna look underneath our GMC over here because I think I got a plan for this truck, and we're gonna start messing with it here soon. Only if y'all wanna see some content with old GMC. I was hoping I could look underneath here and see our speedo setup. Speedo setup cable thingy-majigger's leaking, but I can't see it. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Who wants to see some GMC, some content though? Maybe a little short bed conversion action, huh? Open up our springs. They bolted them together and used grade 8 bolts, it looks like. Got that old long bolt. Yep. Ugh. Pop these new springs on. Can you guess which way goes to the front? If you take your leaf springs off like we did over there and you're not sure which one goes to the front, there should be a shorter side, roughly 24 5/8, and a longer side, roughly 26 3/4. Your shorter side goes to the front. So if you don't know, maybe that'll help you out. And we're just mocking up, so slap a bolt in, call it good. Drop her on down now. Oh yeah, we are ready for our lowering blocks. We got here some 3-inchers, no pinion angle built into it. Pinion correction angle. That's what happens when you buy the cheapo kit on the eBay. Straight edge. It came with the blocks, the leaf springs, the drop spindles, and the coils, all one kit. Close our gaps in. Your blocks should all line up on these little dowels. Snug fit there. Our rear end and springs is just enough weight to keep that from teetering again. Get that one back in. This side's still looking good. Just kind of eyeballing the pinions. One point I did have a couple shims. Here's one. You know what they say, one won't get it done. And we'll just try it without. Real simple stuff, guys. To go back together, we just need longer U-bolts because we got that bigger gap now. They sit like so, and then we just take our plate and go right back together. Or do we? Might have to squeeze them U-bolts sometimes. They've got a little, they may be sprung out or sprung in. You may have to bend on them. Depends on how tired the foreign manufacturer was that day who's operating the machine that bent them. Only other thing you're paying attention to is on our plate, making sure your stud's towards the back because we know it's got to go from there to our shock mount up top. Be sure to tighten them up nice and even. Don't just smoke one. Get them snug, then snug, 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 then slowly torque them. And our excess don't actually hang below our shock mount even. Sometimes these things will be way doing the hang down and you got to cut them off. We may be okay like that. Let's get some weight on her. Let's see here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't rolling nowhere. We got you chained. Chock the front tire. Yes, we are sitting a little bit lower back here, and that makes me happy. Gotta get our lift out of there where we can give this thing a little bounce-a-rooey. Yeah, that's pretty good. We ain't got shocks on it. Maybe y'all could see better if you got a nice rear angle. How's it look back there? Pretty good? I can't even get that frame to hit the rear end, which is a good sign. Obviously, with shocks on there, I couldn't get it bouncing like that. It would dampen it, which is the shock's jobs. Jobs, saint, ain't, can't, maybe. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. The weight of the bed on there, it's gonna settle it some, and then driving's gonna settle it some. We still want to C-notch it. That makes me feel really good though, that our little baby C-notch we're about to perform on it's gonna be more than enough for what we need. I may done just did the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life, possibly. I just told people how to measure your leaf springs so you know which one faces forward if yours don't say front, but I was lucky and mine said front. But I was just looking at this thinking, boy, that SOB looks crooked as can be. Looks more crooked than a politician in there. And it has nothing to do with that leaf spring being on backwards. No wonder why them blocks were a little tricky to start. What am I doing here, folks? I'm gonna pull my head out my hind end and we're gonna do better, okay? Guys, I'm gonna flip this around real quick. The exact same process. You don't wanna watch it again. So it's gonna look correct in about 3, 2, 1. Ah! There we go, guys. Knock that leg out of place. Move that to the front. Pretty simple to do with the lift. If it wasn't for the lift, that would have sucked having to do that with the jacks and jack stems. Like the good old days, like we used to. Looks a lot better. We're gonna check it for square just because. Bed mount to the center of our little thingy. 18 and 13/16, maybe 7/8. And 18 and right at the same, 13/16 or 7/8. That sucker's like dead money matching. That's a good thing. So the marker center here, guys, I'm just gonna kind of keep it simple. Got a speed square. This ain't super accurate. It's a little eagle eye. It's a little guesstimation in the center notching situation, but it's gonna work. Basically, if we lay this to this little flat piece, this angled corner, I'm just kind of moving that along and the eagle eyeing when it gets to the center of our axle tube, which is about right in there. And I already put a mark right there, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and mark straight down that right there. And now we're gonna pull that whole assembly out of there, get the frame bare. We're ready for the notch. We know where to notch. What are we gonna use to notch? Set out to the junkyard. We're gonna do something I've never done before, guys. We're gonna use some of this big square tubing because it'll break our corners for us. We can notch that out just playing. I like to use this round stuff right here. Nice small piece, you know. Oh, it's all there. It is all there. Sit it on our workbench. We'll lop a piece off. Hey now, don't scratch the paint on my leaf springs. Top quality build right here. Quick little look-see. We're probably gonna go for 4 1/4 wide. Get a real fancy marking device here. And usually when I cut these, I do it with the cutoff wheel because I know I can keep a clean, consistent cut. But I'm gonna try my plasma on this one. If I don't ever use the plasma, I'm never gonna get good at it. Watch your toes. Got right at 4 inches of frame, so I don't want to do no more than 2 inches worth. That'll leave half our frame there anyhow. We'll just hold that there, and we'll kind of figure out where we want it. If you like it, just trace it out. We also want to mark our pipe where we're going to cut it, keeping in mind that I like to let a lip hang where you got a place to put a weld in there. I think that's just about perfect. Go and measure where that intersects, right at 16 3/16. You can give us a mark over here, and that'll help us set this one up as well. That'll help keep us matching on both sides. So here's the other good part of cutting it with the cutoff wheel. When you have these straight edges, you can use your square. Pop! Now luckily, our notch is small enough we're going to be able to get both notches out of one piece. Sometimes you need more, kind of like that, depending on how thick your frame is, how low you're going. But we got lucky here. Next thing we want to do is support the rear of our frame. Dropped it down just so this is touching, guys. I could still wiggle that out of there if I wanted. It don't have weight on it. It's just kissing it. This side is not. We're gonna have to get something in there. And that is, so as we go to cut this frame, if for some reason that wants to drop, or don't let it drop, you don't want pressure on it, because as you cut that, you don't want it to pick it up neither. Just needs a little smoochy kiss. We're gonna cut out our one side. We gotta square up our bottoms first. Pretty good. Here goes nothing. Cut your chunk out, clean her up a little bit with a flap attack. Wherever you think you're gonna be welding, you wanna get nice and clean. I'm gonna have to get something else to get in them corners. But I also did the edge of her frame and the bottom side up here, all in preparation for boxing the frame in. It's easier to clean your frame now than before you put that piece of notch in there. So with her cleaned up, I made a mistake here. Here's our first piece I cut, and I shouldn't have marked that till after we could have put the whole pipe in there. Long story short, we ain't got enough lip hanging down. So I cut one out of our other piece and almost cut it too short. It's close. Now here I like to leave a decent lip for welding. Inside we're actually too wide, so I'm gonna trim her down. Got her nice and cleaned up. 3 5/8 is about our overall width. I'm actually gonna make the next one longer. Trace that just where we know our size for when we make our other one. Just kind of eyeballed it and tacked it in. My fit up's a little sloppy, guys. I think I got a little too carried away with the grinder. Little gap right there, nothing bad. Same on the front, little gap. Biggest gap is right here on the back. Not dangerous, just, you know, it's all weldable, just not as tight as I usually try to get, you know. I'm rusty, leave me alone. Always leave a nice lip here. Just try to make sure that runs flat with the bottom of the frame. Same up there. And I kind of let that judge to be the side to side of it, or the angle of it, I mean. And I always just want to come a little bit past the frame this way. What I'm saying is she looks good. Weld it. She's welded up, guys. I just wanted to bang out this side, doing the same thing. I did fit up tighter on this side, took my time grinding it out. Take your time. But that sucker's welded up. Now that would be plenty strong, but I'm gonna box it just because I always do. Ha, 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 ha. This ain't a box match no more, street fight. Ha, 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 ha. Did somebody say box? You wanna put your little girl mittens up? Come on, you wanna dance with me, buddy? Not that kind of box. We're gonna box it. We're gonna gusset the inside. It is like 5 o'clock somehow already, so I think we'll wait till tomorrow to do that. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, but I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. Last step before we call it a night, we are gonna go ahead and put some weld through primer on the inside. So once we box that up, obviously we can't get to the inside. You can't hear me because of that loud compressor. Oh, nozzles are flying, paint cans are dying. Please still be good. Oh yeah. Ha-ha! Get you some cardboard, and we're getting right back into it this morning. Quick little mock up for the angle. I kind of push that against our pipe there, as you can see. Trace that and cut her out. Ha-ha! And actually, instead of trying to trace this out and all that, what I like to do is just shove on your cardboard real hard. That'll leave you a little indentation in our cardboard situation. Oh, baby, look at her trying to slide into place. Tight fit, too. Now, I don't like to straight line nothing, so we're going to do a little radius on each one. Maybe a little dimple dye just for fun. Yeah, something like that'll do. We got 1/4 inch, which we cannot dimple dye. We got 18 gauge, that ain't gonna be thick enough. Right here in the middle, good old 11 gauge. Trace that sucker out. Now look at this punch that somebody sent me out. That's the old puddin' 50 cal right there, baby. Woo-hoo! Hit the deck, boys. You call me bastards like that? That sounded like a machine gun. Nice tight fit. One hole coming right up. Oh, well, I guess it's already here. Can't come up if it's already here. Knock the dust off these old girls. 1.25 inches. Press her down, flip it over, press it back to take some of that out of there. How's one dimple dye look? A little goofy. But at least you'll know it was at puddins.fab.shop. Now that is weld through primer, but nothing welds better than just bare metal. So I ground off our outside edges. Now as this runs straight, our frame actually goes this way some, and then out past here, it goes back that way. So I think what we're gonna try doing is just tacking this sucker here and here, here and here, and then tapping this way and that away to make it follow our frame. I do have a sheet metal brake over there. We could do this that away as well, but I say let's just try the hammer and see what happens. You can see where we tacked it. Now we're gonna tap it. And once that plate's just running a nice even gap with that, we're happy with it. few love taps, she goes right into place. Pretty good fit up there. She's ready to weld. Yeah, baby. Being able to cheat and use that lift to get in a good position for the overhead weld was nice. You know, it looks better than one fish plate, two fish plates. Here's a little pro tippy. If you want nice, pretty welds, like right there where we started up, see how that looks? And then you see how that looks? Ugly. Some of these other tacks, I did a pretty good job of just mowing over them. But if you're going for pretty welds, like in this, guys, we had to do fairly good sized tacks. Little weld actually, because we were hammering on that plate. So if we just put a little baby tack and hit it, we probably would have popped it loose. So I had pretty good sized welds on there. So if you're going for a continuous weld and you don't want your weld to get interrupted, once you get the sucker in place, you gotta go back and grind down them tacks or them welds like right there. Now we can sail right over that and not get the bubble gum, bubbled up weld in the middle. On this side, I actually just skipped my two tacks there because they're so big, the welds. But when you can do one continuous weld, which this one's two welds, man, it just looks so much better. Yeah, I got caught up there, and down there, of course. That still looks awesome, guys. I don't think either one of these will be going anywhere anytime soon. I'm gonna let them cool off a little bit, and I believe we're done fabricating here, so I'm gonna clean up my mess as that cools off. Nothing special. Just trying to clean up as we go and not be all messy. Trying to quit being a dirty boy. All right, that's enough. Welcome to Puddins Shop Cleaning Services. We're usually open about one day a month. This is the part where I'm gonna disappoint some of y'all. Wouldn't be my first time. Gosh dang it, Corporal, get down! Don't make me get my 50 cal out. I'm not stripping all this frame and painting it. Some of y'all thinking just do it. Here's the problem, guys. The problem is, I just don't give a damn. Just playing, that's not true. The problem is, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. As in, even if you wire wheel and do all your best, you're never gonna get in all the nooks and crannies. All these clips would need to come off. All them lines need to come off. And that's just gonna get us to the back of the cab. Then we're gonna have a half painted frame, and I'm damn sure not doing the whole frame of this thing, guys. Now, if you're up north and you're scared of all that kind of stuff, I get it. Down here, we get this red dirt that coats our frame, and yeah, it gets surface rust, but this frame ain't even pitted anywhere. It's actually really, really good. Whoever wins this thing, if they decide they want to strip down the frame and paint it, hey, more than welcome. If that's all you got to do, you're doing pretty good. As far as me, the classic saying, spray paint and leave it be. Don't call me Rattle Can Dan for nothing, baby. Got a little carried away here. I'm gonna throw them runs in for free. I'm a hell of a guy. Two shackle. I forgot to order bushings. I ordered some yesterday. They'll be here at noon. It's about an hour and a half probably till we'll have them. Now, I'll be honest, these ones are more than runnable. Yes, they're split a little bit, but they're not plumb blown out or nothing. I think they could be ran for a while. However, since we're in here and we're putting new springs and all that, we might as well replace those. Hey-oh, hey, hey. Can't go together on the rear till we get our bushings, so we'll go apart on the front. Last week, new rotors, packed our bearings, cleaned them, packed them, new calipers, all new brakes, all the stuff we needed to get it driving. But now we get to take it back apart. Pull caliper, zip tie, out of the way. I said out of the way. Little spritz. Smoky. Don't touch that nut. Guaranteed hotter than a two-pecker Tom Kitty. Never ordered new sway bar end links either, did I? Nope. Nope. Not making very far on the front tear down before our bushings had showed up. Good. I'd rather finish up the back anyhow. Yeah, she's a little better. Don't forget your brand new bushing installing tool right there. Bare metal, be gone. Ride quality's gonna go up about 98% due to that bushing. Of course, all this crap goes right into place, guys, like it's meant to be. How easy is that? None of our spring bolts were actually going to tighten down. You want to do that when there's a load on the suspension. Trying to figure out how to get this bad girl back in. Got one side, we may have to pull that clip. Just depends on how much give we get here. Oh, just enough. Just enough to sneak on in there. Darn tootin'. Drive shaft is happy. What about, oh yeah, where'd this go? Up in there. She's gonna need relocated. Before we get too carried away with our vent, which ain't super important, we actually may want to think about our brake line, because it's probably gonna have to go up this way. Yeah, probably something like that. I think we can make it work. Let's go for a little tap. That's for $1.20. All I got of them's a Phillips, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Oh yeah, she's gonna clear. Yeah, got clearance. Here's our old bracket. Slick's here. Ooh, I think that's gonna work, guys. We can bend that line back that away and just re-weld that to our fish plate. After we eat some taco, boy. Slam trucks, good burritos, good friends. What else could you ask for? A buff job. That's what else you could ask for. Slick's gonna start buffing on this bed. I offered to roll it up in the other side of the shop, trying to keep the noise away from us recording. He just wants to do her out here in the sun. You've been looking at Ron's rear end? Yeah. We're gonna slice our bracket a little straighter. Get all that mocked up. Boom, baby, she's ready to weld. Permanent. Good or bad news? Better. Better? Better ain't bad. Whoop. Bloop. All right. All of this clicks right back together. Easy peasy. I'll take it. Little black paint, make me the welder I ain't. Oh, Rupert, run my taillight wiring, please. That's good. Clip and clip. Oh, she's spinning. Yeah. Second ago, I went out and pressure washed some of our parts here, our filler neck. She's practically brand new now. And then our bracket for our gas tank, I washed it up too. It's looking too classy back here now. We can't be slapping no dirty parts on. I kicked Slick away from our approach. He was making too much noise. He got sent to timeout over here. He's got the best spot in the house. He gets to be in the shade and the breeze is right here. It feels awesome. Woo! Got her slicked up. I hope y'all can see that reflection coming off there. What do you think, Slicky?
I think that's factory paint, and I think that's been repainted because you can tell you might not be able to pick it up on the camera, but the flakes are different.
Let's see, can y'all see the different? Yeah, kind of right along in there. I don't know why it would ever need. We'll just take that off. Oh boy. Is that layers of metal?
Looks like somebody overlapped it, yeah.
It's that good sticky tape.
This side, you can kind of tell in the clear it's got spots. It's because that side was up against trees. This side was out in the sun for the whole time.
This side got sun baked more. You can still see the yeehaw in it, so hell, that's good enough. You can see this beautiful face. That qualifies as GUD good enough. Yep. Few bolts out here. Someone sure is noisy back there. We're gonna knock out our tank real quick, then our shocks, and we're gonna go see what Slick's got going on right here. Looks like we need 5/16, 1/4 inch, and 3/8. Damned old variety pack. Ain't no room for slack hardly. Going for the exact fit. There's one. There's 2 and 3. And that is ugly as can be. That on. Filler neck, I'm not too worried about. Not until we go to actually put the bed back on. Well, how tight it'll go. She ain't gonna bounce nowhere.
Nope.
Last thing. So as far as our shocks, we got these Straight Performer by the Bell Tech, the Smell Tech, I mean. What part numbers we got on these? These are the same, these are the same.
Yeah.
Dang! It's a fancy shock. Nothing but the best for the giveaway. For my own crap when I call O'Reilly's, give me the cheapest shit you got.
It's gonna ride like a wagon anyway.
Look at this sucker, guys. That's got some girth to it. Oh, this sucker's gonna keep growing and going. Oh, slides on there real nice. Just about the perfect height. Look at that. Oh, let's hoping his old squeaky. Fancy. She is looking like a rig back here.
Ready to cruise.
Autocross, you mean? And over here, what in the Freddy Krueger face we got going on here? That thing's pitted and scarred. Good old body filler.
So what I'm thinking what happened is somebody didn't paint over it. I didn't sand this, it was like that. So I'm thinking water soaked into the Bondo and then rusted out the rest of it.
So someone was trying to fix her up.
Trying to. Just
With body filler and created grated cheese for us to now fix. So how much you want to cut out of here?
I want to cut a round spot right here and then we'll go back down. We'll just do this section.
All right. Nothing to it but to do it.
It's all Bondo.
Nice and thick. Here goes nothing. Oh, there's my hole. Shoved it right through the rust. Blake wants a radius to corner. He's gonna TIG weld this up. And I guess he wants radius, so we're gonna do these. We'll slice that out at the back. Be a good time to have a body saw. I don't know how you wanna cut that, buddy. As soon as we cut some of that down there, that metal went badong, did the oil can. Need to mark us a good line to follow up here. We got that body line. We want to stay over here where it's flat. There she be. Now it's got see-through trim.
Yep.
Just see right through. Can't see through nothing. You can see yourself in that glass and that old mirror. Slick done roughed us out a piece here.
Always make sure it's clean when you start hammering on it, otherwise you'll start leaving marks in your hammers and your hammers will start leaving marks in other metal that you go. It's just bad. Just make sure your metal's clean when you start metalworking.
Proper sheet metal guy. I would have done welded that sucker in with the MIG. Slick held her in place, and I used my very professional scribe here to scribe the back side. Had to break out the old Clecos for Slick.
Yep.
He made him a little holder tool thing. He got some 18 gauge there. You ain't got the fingers on you.
A guitar player can't open some Clecos. It's ridiculous.
Turn 30. Shoo! Look at that fit up.
You can see everywhere it needs a little bit. So what I like to do, take a marker and just mark it right where it's touching and just grind it a little bit and then refit it.
You heard the man. I'm not a sheet metal guy. I would have done tacked that corner, then I would have ran the cutoff wheel down through that, gave it all a little gaposaurus, and then I'd be going to MIG-town already. Which some of y'all's gonna say is perfectly fine, but when you have a sheet metal guy who actually really likes to do sheet metal stuff, this is the correct way.
I like to make it where you can't see where it was welded when you're done.
I do that as well, usually with body filler. She's looking good.
Pretty fresh.
Slick got his panel where he's happy. As he was doing that, I was playing welder setup here. Got the Everlast moved over. Got our argon set up with the little safety measure. Tie wire will hold or it won't. So we try out old girl here to sharpen our tungsten. I'll sharpen it, get it wrong, then Slick will do it right. We're gonna let old Slicky get her into place here. Then I'm gonna show him how to weld it. Everything was going good till it wasn't. We weren't getting gas. We thought we were having a regulator, this, that, whatever. Long story short, the end of my torch here just has about 1,000,001 holes in it. That's why we weren't getting gas flow. So we're not gonna be tigging her. Now we get to do her the improper way. The MIG job deluxe. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If you ain't MIGging, you ain't living. Here we go, baby. It's shifting. We're off to a solid start, guys. First tack, panel popped out. It's overlapping. What the smell? We're gonna just tighten that gap up all the way around and tack her in as we go. Slick's gonna work her with the little ding 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 hammers. Be good enough to soak her with body filler to rust again.
As long as you painted it, it won't rust.
So tack, 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 jumping around here. This area got real bad as your weld cools, it shrinks and it'll pull your metal some, and we got a lip here. So I ground the head of them down. Now we're hammering on that, basically trying to stretch it back out, planish that weld back out. MIG gets hard. It's why it's not the best for doing this if you're trying to make it proper. But I did hammer on this and it seems to be working some. I may make a sheet metal guy yet. I'm letting that thing air cool, but holy crap, Slick. We're ready to go ice skating over here, buddy. Look at that skating rink. There's your before and after on a Slick buff job. Took forever, but she's welded up. I missed a spot there and there. Guys, I'm gonna take the flap attack and knock down some of this weld. Missed a spot there. But same thing, we don't want to get this panel too hot from this. So every so often, I wasn't pinpointing our welds with this. I'm just kind of hitting the whole panel to help dissipate some of the heat off the panel. We got to keep her cool. This, I was not planning on doing. Slick was like, hey, I'll knock out that patch real quick, and you know, crap kind of just went downhill. I'm glad we did it though, just because it's done, and I wasn't looking forward to doing it. It turned out pretty good. You can feel the high spot right in there, but considering this is still whooped on there, all the body filler, and it wasn't perfect anyhow, I'm not upset with that. I think it'll all clean up. Speaking of cleaning up, that's what I'm about to go do. It's shower 30. Actually, it's about 7 o'clock. And we'll be back on this thing in the morning. I gotta get the front end lowered, rebuilt. We gotta get wheels and tires. And hopefully get this bed back on with buffing. We're gonna have a busy day. Let's go for a little tear down action. We got the crew here today. Start banging out this side. It's all out of there. Rebuilt our upper. Cannot rebuild our lower because old Puddin' Pop still has my ball joint removal tool, so he's on my poo-poo list. We're gonna have to rent one. I can't find a piece of pipe to hug the bottom, so we can't use the press. Anyhow, let's start tear down over here. Pop. Hi. Like we had just put that on there last week. That's why they call it a dust shield. There wasn't no dust on it. Next, we'll look at our little tie rod situation. And you see these flat spots? That's for you to beat the devil out of this thing to release that. Couple love taps and she's free. Get on out of here. Your shock's gonna have 2 bolts on the bottom. It's off. Here, you wanna put it in the scrap pile?
Put it in the pile.
All right, with the shock out of there, we just got to do to our ball joints now what we did to our tie rod. Before we start messing with any of that, time to get the safety chain. These chains won't hold me down. Pull your chain down through there, and we'll just pop a bolt in her. So as we go to lower that, if that does want to spring out of there, which it should not, it'll still hold it to the control arm. That way we don't lose our head today. And these babies are all dirty. So we'll use the wire wheel for a cotter pin reveal. Found it. Same up here. This sucker was caked so thick you couldn't even see the cotter pin. Oop. Trying to do this a minute, it'll record such a pain. Cotter pin 1. Ow. Ow. We didn't need that skin on that parrot anyhow. Them edges will get you. Cotter pin 2. First we'll get our lower. Is everyone ready? You ready? Got her helmet on. On that side, I might as well hit it with my purse. There she went. Let that spring do the work for you. There went the top. So it's a good thing we're gonna put bushings on that upper. Oh, have a spindle. Slowly, we're gonna lower our jack. And that was not enough to drop that out of there. We'll just lift her a little. That's one way to do it. Still got a little tension. If you wanted, you could pry bar that and get it. We're pulling our A-arm off either way, so let's just take out these 2 bolts. If you're having a hard time getting your bolt out there, run your pot candy speed wrench down, where you can shove on the backside of that bolt or the head of it, and then put that sucker in reverse, and get it out of there. It says it's as simple as that. There it goes. Our uppers are a little tricky to get to. They're 18 millimeter, and whoever torqued them last smoked them to Alabama. So a brake torque with a wrench, but then after that, this little ratcheting thingy, it's our best friend here. I actually think getting into these has been the worst part of doing the front end on this so far. This was an easy one. It only had about 6 threads showing. This other one, it's got about a 1/4 mile of thread showing. Golly, that's gonna be the reason I break a sweat today, right here. Oh yeah, we made it. We made it. Here's that long end. We got some shims in the back. That's why the rear one ain't as long. About 5 shims worth. It looks like we're gonna hit our starter. So our bolts here, we're actually gonna have to pull them out of there. Yeah, got her. She's mine. Give that the blow-off rebuild. Safe to say this bushing right there is Napoleon blown apart. That's supposed to be in the middle. That's cutting fluid, so, because that's rusty and crusty, you'll just cut new threads, you know what I mean? Get our bushings out. We're just gonna use the air hammer here, the old air chisel deluxe. Come on. Couple little indentations there, trying to shrink the bushing in a little bit to relieve it. The only thing I'm relieving is this out of our vise. I can't hold it good. It just moves some. Hi, my name's Puddin' and I've never used an air chisel before. So I barely indent that to relieve some. And then that's why I like using this one with the little curve. I actually kind of pry on it and let the vibration just loosen it out and actually pry it out with the vibrations help. Nice and simple. Flip her over for a ball joint, and all I'm gonna do is drill us some holes right in the center of these rivets. Waller her out. Now I just stepped her up a here. Nice, easy way to do it there. Holy dirt and grime. This stuff's on there thick. Good grease and dirt mix there. Just like our rear frame, we're not cleaning that up a whole lot, guys. Yep, I know people still not gonna like that, but it's okay. Half the people who'd paint their stuff real nice would then put a cheap old ball joint in there. Not us. We got the Moog Problem Solver 40 series. That'll drop in from the top. This will go on the bottom. Don't forget, guys, this is a driver, not a show truck. So I think what we're doing is absolutely perfect for it. You know, our little bolts, nuts, whatever. Get them all started. This is a lock nut. Now, one little issue here, and this happened on the other arm too. It's very close to starting, but this last bolt just hardly don't want to start. We could force it, but then the bolt's gonna be cockeyed in there. Or we'll give her a little waller for $1. See that? It didn't take much. Slap your greaser in, and we're ready to go back together with our arm bushing thingy. Now I know mine went like this, because you can tell how those shims were on there and they dropped down on from the top. So that means it had to go like that right there. We'll get our first bushing started. See how that sits real nice right there? Here's my drive tool I whipped up for the other side. Just a piece of exhaust pipe I had that happens to fit there. And some people always ask why I never use my press and why I do this. Guys, you are not gonna rig this arm into that press and press it in quicker than what this does right here. Ain't gonna happen. Slide shaft in, drop other bushing on. Smack, smack, smack. She's rebuilt. Tighten them down where they're not floppy, but we want this loose as well. We're not gonna tighten them until we got weight on the vehicle. If you can get them to spin, you can usually get them out. Well, hell, that's one way to do it. Good lordy. I hope these next 3 don't whoop us like that. Yeah, 3. Still got this one and the other A-arm. I'm an idiot, all right? This A-arm took the whole thing apart in like a couple minutes. This one bushing that whipped me on the other, come to find out on the backside I didn't pay attention and it was flared. So to get that out of there, I just air hammered that whole little flare down and then whoop, basically little taps and it came right out. I made that a lot harder than it needed to be. It was tearing up the bushing a little bit because it wasn't wide enough. So we gave her a little custom flare because I don't care. And that knocked that right on to there. To remove the ball joint, you simply want to configure and correct orientation. Out with the old. If you don't want to endure this headache, guys, you can actually buy really cheap replacement A-arms that actually come painted black. All new bushings, ball joints, ready to go. You would simply unbolt what we did and then bolt it right back on. However, if you want good quality parts like the Moog brand, their arms are really pricey. And you can get cheaper ones that actually cost less than the Moog replacement parts, but you're getting cheap stuff. We're ready to go together, all except 1 or 2 things. One, we're gonna need some color match paint. So we pulled the gas door there and we gotta head towards town to get that color match before they close for the weekend. And then 2, our wheels are here with some nice new paint on them back from the sandblaster. We gotta go drop them off if we have any chance of getting our tires on time. So, as we run behind, let's throw a couple curveballs in the mix. Errand's complete. Now let's go back together. Get on there. From the top side, I'm gonna put our shims back in. Nice little stack. Couple little babies for the front. Slap our nuts on. Yeah, put some stink on them. Why does he use that lift like a jack stand? I think he's scared to use his lift. Takes just as long to go lift the damn thing and lower it as it does to just lay down here and install something real quick. Some of y'all forgot, I ain't scared of work. I kind of do like having it as an adjustable jack stand. But here in a second, when we put our coil spring back in, we're gonna have to get a jack underneath this. So we would have jacked it up to be able to stand to put on one A-arm. Then we would have lowered it down to use the jack. Guys, just do the shit real quick. Come on now. Don't get soft on me. We're going snug but not tight. Now, if this side's anything like the driver's side, we gotta have a little modification up in our drop spindle situation. That's right, trouble in paradise. Yep, that's a problem. That ball joint sticks through and the hole sticks through. However, it don't stick through enough to actually be able to cotter pin it. AKA, we need to ream this out a little more. Not a huge deal if you have a reamer. If you don't have a reamer, you're gonna be in bad shape right there. Now, don't need a whole lot. I'm not sure if that's the spindle not being reamed out or the ball joint manufacturer. I'm gonna go with the cheap eBay spindles versus the Moog ball joints. However, if you're gonna do a lot of suspension stuff, lowering stuff, whatever, intermingling, making stuff work, I highly suggest you get one of these. This was one I found on Amazon, 7-degree taper to it. You'll use it more than you think. And that right there is exactly what we were after. Just needed a little more sticking through. Let's take our coil for the upper. It comes with this little plastic piece that's gonna flatten that up for us. And we're gonna stick that up and jack her up and do whatever it takes to get that spindle in there. Whoop! Ah, it was there. Well, I never had trouble like this with lowered springs. Got it. About lost it. I never had a spring whip me so bad, guys. The bad news is I looked up in the driver's side pocket, and guess what? The only reason that spring went in is because it's in the incorrect place, which means I get to take that side apart again. My favorite. Took that plastic spacer out. Yes, that levels it, but it also is gonna raise it, which maybe they account for that. I doubt it. That lowering spring ain't a very short one. To be able to pry that up in there, I put a bolt down in that hole right there where I had a place to put the pry bar. Now the rest of this should go super smooth. With weight on that, shoving that up, we tighten up our bushings. And up top here, I'm gonna get our cross shafts tightened up. Get. This should not have whooped me this bad. Now we're sitting pretty on this side, all except our shock. And I learned a thing or two on our other side about our shock situation. First thing I learned is this top piece can't fit in our A-arm, so we gotta take it off. That way we expose our seal, helping to get grit on there and sand, and we blow the shock out even quicker. Second thing I learned is this base is way too wide for the A-arm, so for this to actually fit up underneath there, we gotta do a little trimming. Now, other than them two minor details and needing a little bit longer bolt down there because that base is so thick, they simply go right in just like other shocks. I'm gonna tighten these top ones. Then I wish I could lie to you and say we're gonna set this thing down on the ground. I've got to do the other side again and fix my mistake. As I do that, old Slicky is gonna slick up that panel. What do you think, buddy?
Not bad.
You heard it here first, folks. The problem solver boot is a problem. It popped off on that side, so I'm grinding out a little bit. It's too tight of a fit. Hey! Slick's gonna turn her into, is it 1884 or 1984 again?
Like a rock, baby.
Like a rock. Fronts together. That side's done proper. Let's go around. Now guys, I ordered most of the stuff to replace all this. We were waiting on our idler arm. So for now, we're gonna leave the old stuff. However, we will be swapping her out for new stuff. All she needs is looby dooby. We need to crease them ball joints. Slick done sanded down our patch. He's going for a second wipe here. Kind of like after Taco Bell kicks in. You're gonna have to wipe more than once, guaranteed. I've been cleaning up the shop. I know it don't look like it because it's still a mess. But right now, we're just going for trips to the scrap trailer. Oh, good thing we got a floodlight over here. Get in there. Slick got us to there. He had to dip out. I think I'm gonna try to get the bed back on it. We still gotta buff the top, so if we had the bed on it, that'd make it even easier. So we need to set it down, but before we do that, we gotta get the new wheels and tires out. Oh yeah, nobody guessed it. White Steely with the dime watch. No one's ever seen that around here. This may be my favorite wheel ever. It's a classic, timeless. It's timeless, guys. A timeless look. These are the factory Steelies off this truck. I had them sandblasted and painted. We went with a little bit bigger tire than was on there. Yes, sir. What I got here in my little hidey pouch, I don't know. I don't know. Chrome lug nut. Now we went with the all-season custom 428 AS. That's right, this truck's so custom, the tires say custom. Fun job of cleaning off the old blue goo. Gotta make them white walls white. And we gotta clean the hooky puck from the tire shop. They're 14s, I keep them clean though. They're right there, sharper than a thumbtack. Woo! You can be mad at it, but I don't know why you would be. Come on now, little tire phone to bring her home. Just playing, she ain't home yet. We got one more little touch. Now here's what came off there, and no, this would clean up more than likely, even though it's a little stained. Look what D&H Classics donated to the build. Oh my Lenta, a gorgeous set of caps. He actually believes these to be NOS. And I know they're dirty, but they had sit in the school bus out there at his place forever. Woo! That is a slick cap. I should keep that sucker. That's it. I'm gonna put the dirty ones on and keep these for myself. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but this looks so good with a white Steely. I almost like it better than the cap. I don't know. She looks pretty good with the trim caps on. Is this damn thing brand new? It's looking brand new. What you say we lower her down, huh? Don't tell me I picked the perfect tire size. Oh yeah, keep going, baby. Keep going. Oh, she's going, she's rolling. That is not what I meant. Get her in park. I ain't really stood back and looked at her yet. Hell, she may still ride nice. I feel like I should push it backwards. I'm acting like this thing's got a bed on it or something. Yeah, why push it when you can drive it? Oh, baby! That thing is looking tits McGee. That thing is looking G-U-D. That thing is looking good. What in the reflection we got going on here? This thing looks like we need to do a little like breakdance battle next to it or something, you know what I mean? I did think the front was gonna be sitting a little lower than what it is, which I guess don't super surprise me since that coil spring was such a pain to get in there. That means it was kind of tall. And she looks good. And actually, I really like how this thing is looking. This to me is like taking me back, guys. I drove my 77 Hilux with no bed for like 6 months around, ran the Datsun around with no bed. That to me was mini trucking back in the day. All that looks good. Nice, simple driver. I think some people are probably seeing now a little bit of what I've seen in the truck, which is very simple, but effective as the turd starts to polish. So let's see. I know we'll get the bed on. We're gonna start giving it a valiant effort. A little crooked. Maybe ish. Truck's gotta go that way. You gotta be close. I know we're off, but we gotta be close. Here's how I know we're off. The bed's already long enough. We don't need to add 4 inches. Gotta be somewhere in there. All the bolts tightened up good, except this one. She's being a little ornery. So we're gonna flush her out and let her soak overnight. She's definitely long. Good morning. Yeah. She ain't no GMC. By golly, she's a Chevrolet. So right now I'm conflicted, guys, because we had this tailgate and it was kind of the right blue. And it had some patina, and I thought we'd take this off and try to clean up this. But this truck is cleaned up so good, I feel like it would do it dishonor to put a rusty tailgate on it. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get this off here. Little brake clean perhaps? Brake clean, not a good idea. It's breaking down the paint. What if we simply sand it off? I think that's our best bet. All right, now, y'all know I just wanted to lower this rig, but some of y'all wanted me to bag it. That's right. I wish this was in better shape where we could have tried to save that. That's my favorite part right there. Bag it in Hugo, Oklahoma. I actually remember that family, the grandpa who owned it, and his grandson. I remember he worked at the grocery store, and we'd go in there and we'd get these little soda pops, the Shastas. Do y'all remember those? And you know, you'd pick them out in the cardboard box, and when we'd go through, his grandson would be like, hey, do you want to leave these in the box? And we'd be like, no thanks, bag it. That was all fake. None of that was true. Yeah, I wish we could keep that, but it's gotta go. Don't hold that against you if you gotta pee. For this, we're gonna use that good stuff, the good Transtar. I did DA it a little bit. Of course, that DA ain't gonna take out all the dents and dings, but it kinda is what it is. Oh, why is there so much trash in there? Oh man, you gotta be shitting me. From shaking that paint can up and it ripping up the outside of the can. Sure is shooting a lot of drips out. Nice, good, thick coat. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I can see where I gouged it with the roll lock, and I did know that was gonna happen. But don't forget, we are just kind of polishing a turd here. I don't mean we want to do bad, but it's also not a show truck. This side don't even clean up as good as that side. Let's not pretend like she's absolutely perfect here, okay? So quick, easy budget fixing on the tailgate's good enough for this rig. However, you know, it wasn't good enough, the bumper. Well, don't worry. The bumper replacement is here. That's right. We got a little roll pan action. Plate light enclosed. Thank you for your purchase. Mod Shop Metalworks. Well, thank you, Mod Shop Metalworks, for the wire filter right there from the MIG. Yeah, that happens. Don't worry about that. Just break right off there. She looks pretty nice. Looks like they did a pretty decent job on her. Cause that primer's been drying. I've been working on a roof. Unless you want to have to take a screwdriver and scrape dried up duct tape off your roof when you got to drive your little truck out of the junkyard, don't duct tape the fuel line to the roof. This ain't how you do paint correction. Spray her with a little So Fresh and Clean all-purpose cleaner. Get a little steel wool on it, and that'll help bring off the last little bit. And wham bam, thank you, man. It's like it almost never happened. Use a little more of that cleaner and we'll finish scrubbing on this roof, getting her ready for some buffing. That Sweet Patina, he makes good products, guys. We've used the all-purpose cleaner. We've used some of the Get Gone on that blue goo last night. We used the Happy Ending Final Detail. We used his polish on the caps. Guys, if you want to get you some good quality products, head over to the sweetpatina.com. Just use that promo code on the screen. He is one of the sponsors of this little pick 'em up truck right here. I'm trying to give her the old bufferooey. I really don't know what I'm doing, and I see some spots, and I don't know if I'm creating them. I'm gonna wait before I mess this up and have Slick kind of guide me whenever he gets here later. I'm better off for doing a little work, like, you know, scrubbing a piece of trim, I guess. Scrub a little lava up front, giving her all the loving we can. All I've been hitting the stuff with this Happy Ending Final Detail wipe or whatever. This crap's in really good shape for being as old as it is. I like how I say that, and as I scrub on it, the chrome flakes right off right in front of y'all, but hey, could be worse. Woo, baby. Them bolts were pretty loose. I'm assuming we got to take that off to put this on. Uh-oh. She fits all right. She's a little dinged up, but hey, it's better than what came on it, which was nothing. I want to get that on where we can get a roll pan into place, then we'll have to take that back off to go get some paint on it. Reckon something about like that. Let me try to close that gap up a hair. Fit up down here is awesome. This end, I was just tacking it to help me hold it. Tap that sucker back. It was sticking too far this way. Before we get too carried away, let's open this. That's a problem. I was worried about that. It sure matches up really good right there though. Use the classic fingernail scratch to get that trash out of there. Just Scotch-Brite it a little bit. It'll be ready for paint. Oh, got our color match rattle can right here. Let's see how we do. Oh, keep your fingertip out of there or you'll be spraying spots. There's one layer. And 2 layers. Little grinding and smoothing, and that sucker's ready for a little body filler. I have no clue what I'm doing with this stuff. About to make a nice mess. Guys, I despise painting body work of any sort, kind, whatever. The hammer and doll in, the body filler in, the buffing. Some of y'all do that for a living. I'll let that dry. I never primered that roll pan. That's good. It can just rest on the back side. Don't worry about it. Slapped another coat of paint on our tailgate where it can set up. And now we got birthday parties and other stuff to do. Me and Slick will be back out here later to button this thing up for good. I didn't do no hand sanding on mine, Slick. All power tool, baby. All power tool, baby. Guys, I did the roll pan earlier. Before I had to leave earlier, I slicked her with some body filler and used his little air file and my DA. And
You use the air file?
I use the air file. That's why she looks half decent. Now, she's not perfect, okay? But looks better than the old love tap that we gave Slick.
You think this is bad? You should definitely see the side of my truck.
Hey, I color matched it too. Now, she ain't perfect. You can feel a little thing here or there, but overall, that's pretty good. I'm really bad at doing body work, guys. Like, really bad. Dang, old tailgate darkened up a little bit, which is good because it's entirely too light. And there I can see all my marks from the roll-lock wheel, which is awesome. She getting there, Slick? Very professional back mask. Don't look like no body work by pudding. Looks a hell of a lot better than what was there. Also, guys, I took the roll-lock and sanded off the rust flakes that were still stuck to this, the old tape. And then I polished this with our polisher. And then I ran out of two-sided sticky tape, as you can tell on the bottom. So I was trying to make some progress earlier. She looks pretty good to me. Looks a hell of a lot better than the old holes that were there. Now, boys, top quality build. The devil's in the details, okay? We're not putting out no half-ass long bed around here. Slick's got a few little spots to address. And then me, I took my little scraper deluxe here. And because we ain't got a white pinstripe, it carried all the way over here and we ain't gonna have it on our tailgate. I thought it'd look better ending our pinstripe up here. And then we're gonna try to make that disappear. That way that white don't roll into the tailgate and there ain't no pinstripe there. She's a very detail-oriented build. Don't get too dirty, Slick. I see you got the church shoes on. Do-do, do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. We're gonna make this truck look like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? Guys, I had a theory yesterday. Me and Slick kind of talked about it at the paint store. Which primer should we use that's going to affect our color for it to look the best? We went back and forth, didn't we?
Yeah, you were right. Should have already.
I was right out of Slick's mouth. We did a little sampling here. Here's the gray. You see how it starts to turn that lighter blue? Look what that blue did over that red and how it really darkened up. Maybe y'all can see a little better there. I think it's going to blend much better if we go over it with the red and then the color. Only problem is, at some point, we're gonna have to redo our tailgate because that's like a super light blue. But this, we can go ahead and do now because we're here. Shoot, if this was my truck back in the day, I would've drove it just like that. I like stuff unfinished looking. I'd slap that trim on and rock that primer that tailgate and call her a day. Several times. Several times. Several times. Several times.
I'm never gonna look back.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What club you repping?
I ain't got no club, man. I'm a lone wolf.
Pretty clean rig you got here.
Yeah, she looks good on that side. Are you the leader of several ties?
Yeah, several ties. President, several ties.
Dude, I've always wanted to be in several ties. Yeah, I got so many ties at home. I got bow ties, clip-on ties, like every color tie you could think of, man. What do I got to do to be in several ties?
You got that many ties?
I swear, man, there's so many ties.
You know what? Let me see your hat. Try that on for size.
It fits so good? What's that mean?
You're one of us now, buddy. Let's see your several ties. Several ties. Several ties.
I've been practicing for this since I was like 13. Several ties.
Come park with the crew.
I told you she was only clean on that side. Ain't part of no truck club. Where's my normal hat? Some of y'all are, what the hell's going on? There's a truck club called Severed Ties, and they do this. They do this, that's Severed Ties. I remember being like an 18-year-old kid posting on mini truck forums, and me and my buddies would hang out of our mini trucks and do several ties, and we had half of them worked up at one point, and we're just having a little fun there, guys, acting like we got a truck club. We had to bring the S-10 down to show y'all, hanging out at the truck club with the other boys. And kind of like we said in the skit, she's got one clean side. This side that's set towards the sun, she looks pretty good on camera. I'm telling y'all in person, it does not look as good as it does on the camera. She don't look terrible, but when the other side looks really good, this side's just a little disappointing. Almost as disappointing as the amount that this truck is sitting low. This thing is supposed to be like a 5.6 lowering kit, and it is not sitting like that. It looks more like a 3.4. Now them shocks got some oomph to them, so I'm hoping it settles as we start to drive it here. But the passenger side, guys,
Cream puff.
Cream puff. The camera ain't even doing it justice here, but man, is she a looker. Y'all can see I put my two-sided sticky tape back on, got the trim on, we popped on the new tail lights. Just don't look at all the dents in our painted tailgate. Yeah, the tailgate's looking pretty terrible. I wasn't planning on painting the tailgate originally. That kind of ended up happening, so if we can find a straighter one, we may swap it out, or we may slap a tailgate skin on that. We could kind of shave it, so to speak, and repaint that. But for now, you know what? It didn't have a tailgate to start with. That looks pretty damn good versus no tailgate. The wheels and tires look awesome on it. It's sitting good, guys. It's got a nice little stance to it. It's just not as low as I was expecting. I'm still not mad at how it looks, and the whole truck as a whole cleaned up good enough that originally, I'll tell y'all, I was actually planning on building a ladder rack on this thing because the truck's so long. I thought it would help kind of square it all off and take away from that. But she cleaned up good enough that I actually really kind of dig how it looks. I think that's a solid little shop truck. Run to town, long bed, throw your parts in the back, go to the junkyard, get your rear end, set of wheels, fender, hood. You could fit a whole nother mini truck in the bed of that thing. It's so long if you wanted.
The Datsun would for sure fit.
Not with that box on the back. So that's it, guys. Our little giveaway S-10. I still don't know how we're going to do the giveaway yet. This thing is not ready to give away. I plan on, we still got to do some stuff to the inside. I actually have not even bled the brakes again, hooked up the tail lights. There's still stuff that needs done on it. We got to rebuild the steering stuff up front, tie rods. It's going to need alignment, headliner. I'm going to put the radio in there, a few other things. So we still got some work to do on it. But in 2 weeks of work, the first one doing the mechanical, and then this second week kind of getting it looking like a looker, we've made some pretty solid progress on it. I do think I'm going to drive it around myself before we do the giveaway, just to make sure it's nice and solid. And I still ain't even got the title sorted, so probably should start that process like 2 months ago. Y'all comment down below though. I want to know which bedside repair ended up looking better right here. This one or this one? I'm still going with the left. As that rust comes in, and helps blend that blue, it looks better and better as we go.
I keep forgetting it's there, and then I like walk over there and like, oh, I really need to like do something with that, and then I just never do.
Dude, she looks good. She looks good. My vote's the love looks better. So that's it, guys. We'll do more on it eventually, maybe this week, maybe we skip a week, I don't know. All I do know is I got the window out of the Travelall. I've got to get that thing off my trailer because I need my trailer tomorrow. So I'm about to actually head towards D&H Classics to drop off the Travelall, and I got to get going because we got to pull all this stuff in before it rains and everything else. I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you enjoyed watching us polish this turd, and man, I've enjoyed seeing it happen. Maybe it gave you an idea or two of how a simple little truck can be a cool little budget-friendly truck. Nice little transformation. puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. We appreciate all the support there, so it's made a large part of us growing possible, so I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. It keeps me and my family busy, just like making these videos. We appreciate y'all coming back and watching week after week on here at the on the second channel. Thank you guys a million times. I reckon that's it. So do not forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project, and not building a lowered truck won't ever get you into several ties.
I was running.